Moose just said to Barry McGuigan, what's it like to be knocked out? Well, stand up and I'll show you.
Yeah. You couldn't punch your way out of a paper
One
bag.
question and one question only.
Right. It's not about you. Sorry, all the book.
Okay.
It's just
really going to
Go on.
get
I think that orderly Harrison should have been deprived of his purse for that pathetic effort against David Hay a year ago. What's your opinion?
No, definitely not. He tried his best and he was knocked out, a proper knocked out, and I think he's got a terrific chance of knocking out Vladimir Klitschko too.
No, Harrison should have been deprived.
No, I don't think so. Audley tried his best and he was just knocked out. I mean, it wasn't a surprise to me. I knew it was going to happen. Everybody else, I was incredibly surprised that so many critics who have got boxing critics and boxing people who I've got great respect for thought he was going to win. I just thought he had no chance, and I just think he is an exceptional puncher, and he'd knock a house out of you. And you want to know how it feels like to get hit. If you get hit by him, you'll wake up next Wednesday.
Thank you, Moose.
Right,
11:35 it is. Barry
Well done,
McGuigan's with us. Why did you use the word shame when it came to losing the title to Cruz? Never mind what happened. Again, you're going to have to read the book to find out what happened surrounding the Cruz. You said, when I lost the title, I felt shame.
Oh, shame, because this is the other thing. All these people who came out to support me and who'd worked so hard to, in those days, transatlantic travel was much more expensive than it is today, and it was such a more of an effort to get there, and I just felt shame that I'd lost it.
But by a point, Barry.
Even so, and
in effect,
still
a low blow. You got caught, and he didn't.
I got properly hit. I mean, I lost a point for a low blow, but he hit me properly low, and it wasn't very nice, I can tell you. But I just felt shame that I'd lost my title so quickly, and all those people had made such a great effort for me, and I'd felt I'd let them down.
No, but you gave everything.
Oh no,
more that night.
I gave everything, but still, I felt I was ashamed of myself that I couldn't retain my title, and I felt emasculated, and I felt. I just felt that I'd let everybody down. No matter what anybody tells you, and we can say and we can comfort people and everything else, but when you're a fighter in there, and I know how they feel, and that's again why I wrote it now, because I still remember what it feels like, not being able to do anything. I mean, for example, in the 15th round, the punch was coming at me, and I could see it, and I couldn't get out of the way. I could see it was almost like in slow motion.
You couldn't move from 13 on.
I just was. I'd run out of gas. I was running on empty and I remember seeing in the corner, "Say a prayer for me. I'm gone. I'm knackered," and it must have been difficult for them in the corner to motivate me, because I knew there was nothing left in the tank. However, it is an experience, and as a fighter, you have to lose to appreciate winning.
Absolutely.
And you have to understand what it's like, and it's just
you make that point time and again in the book that in each and every year of your life, something good happens, and it's counterbalanced by something terrible.
Yeah.
Dad died with cancer.
Yeah, 52.
Brother
52
Dermot
years
took his
old.
own life.
Yeah, my brother Dermot, God rest him.
Do you miss them enough?
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, listen, don't get me into this. I've cried so much over the last couple of months just thinking about it, and if there's one thing I'd like to sort out in my life is my brother, and I could never take him back. And that's the greatest sadness, in losing him at 34, and knowing that the only person that could have saved him was me. I know that, and that's the heartbreaking thing about it. And I've had so many other friends and so many other people.
It's a great burden to carry, Barry. Why do you say you're the only person that could have saved him?
Because I know I could have talked him down off the box that day. I know I could have. I know, because he had threatened, and he went to this. So much for experts, and I'm not going to name any names, but he was parasuicidal, they said. Parasuicidal. In other words, he'd talk about it and wouldn't do it, and 10 days later he hung himself. And so that, and there's so many people out there who can resonate with me and understand what it's like, because you're left for the rest of your life just wondering, how could you have saved it? How could you have made things better? And the sad thing about it is that it was his girlfriend. He that was the straw that broke the camel's back. He was a sensitive guy and a very introspective guy and everything else, and he'd been with his girl for 9 years, and then the relationship ended, and he just couldn't cope with it.
You obviously carry a great burden of guilt, but and I don't wish to make light of this, but Is it not the case that if it hadn't happened then, it might have done another day? You say I could have talked him down on that afternoon, but you couldn't be there all of the time going forward, could you?
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's not just, of course I know that. I mean, maybe there would have been another time, but you know what I'm sad about is that that he was like that, and yet I was normal, and we grew up in the same house, and I had a very happy childhood, and I think he did too, but he was very sensitive, and he was a scratch golfer. He was an amazing snooker player. He was a far better boxer than I was to start off with. He could have been a great athlete, and yet when I started having a bit of success, he dedicated his whole life to me. You know, if there's anybody that should take credit for training me, it's Dermot. Dermot was a great guy, and every day I think about him.
Good. For you, going forward, and as I say, I mean, you get a sense now, Andy, of what I mean.
I know.
About how deeply moving this is.
Well, I can't wait to read it. I have to say, Barry.
It is a wonderful story. Going forward, Barry, what's on the horizon?
Loads. I've got a young kid called Carl Frampton who's boxing on Saturday night at 10:30 on Sky One, and he is unbelievable.
On Sky One?
Sky Box, Sky Sports One. Apologies. Sky. Well, I always think
Sport. We know where
Sport,
to find it. No.
Exactly. Sky Sports One. He is an unbelievable talent. He's from Tigers Bay. He's a Protestant kid. He goes out with a kid from the Falls Road, so he's. It's ironic that he's exactly like me, only in reverse. He's the most brilliant young kid. What a talented guy! Can punch, can box, can fight. He can do it all. He has more ability than I had. He can fight going forward and fight going back. And I promise you, he's a tremendous puncher, and he's a great kid, and he's very well settled, very confident, but not bumptious. And I've got my academies. Barry McGuigan Boxing Academies are in Leicester, South Leicestershire, East Berkshire, Filton College in Bristol, and Stockport, and we're moving into a few others as well that remain nameless, and we're moving into Ireland with that as well. That's giving kids a chance that are interested in boxing to stay in education and to maximise the potential sporting wise and academically.
There's a chapter called Giving Back, and that's in summary is what you're doing, isn't it?
That's what I want to do, and I want to develop a stable of fighters. I love the commentary, I love the analysis. I want to be doing that like Jim Watt, who's a hero of mine. I want to be keeping doing that until I'm he won't mind me saying that. That he's a bit older than me.
Jim's age.
And beyond.
He's Jim's age at least.
Yeah.
Listen, can I fire off a couple of questions, because we've had so many tweets about asking Barry. Just simple ones, we'll fire them off. I know we've only got a couple of minutes. Barry's got another appointment. Simple question, Barry, who will win the Hay Klitschko fight?
I know they're all saying Klitschko. I think Hay's going to knock him out. I really fancy Hay.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Do you think Ricky Hatton should make a comeback?
Never. No, I think Ricky knows it himself. I don't know why he's prolonging the retirement, pressing the retirement button. I don't think he should box anymore. He's been a brilliant credit to British boxing. He's a fantastic guy, and I think he should just stay out of the ring and promote. He's got a great stable of fighters. He's doing a great job.
Kesman asks, can you ask Barry how he thinks Amir Khan's next fight will go?
I think Amir Khan's picked a tough one in this Zab Judah in his next show, because he's very quick. Speed always causes Amir problems, but I think he'd win all right, yeah.
Ask Barry, this is for Peter, how good was Paul Hodgkinson, and asked, does he think he got the recognition he deserved?
No, he didn't, and he was a great little fighter, and I really liked his style. He was very similar to mine, but he was a lovely kid, and a great fighter.
Yeah, and one more from the Tartan Terror, Gowrie. Could you ask Barry if, like me, there's a little bit of him that's glad he won on points against Pedrosa, and that the champion was able to bow out with dignity he deserved?
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Irvine Welsh, who wrote a paragraph in the book Glue about it, and he done a documentary that if any people can get a chance to see it, it's called In Sunshine or in Shadow, which was a reflection 25 years on from when I won the title. It's a brilliant little documentary, won RT's Sports documentary of the year, and he actually reads in it. He reads from the book about his dad and him going to the fight in Pedrosa and coming down the road towards it. And I think Pedrosa was such a dignified champion, a great champion. I wouldn't, in many ways, when I look back, I wouldn't want to have knocked him out. But that
Nonsense.
night,
You'd have taken him out in the first round if you could.
That night it would have been
One from me.
ruthless.
One last one from me.
Yeah.
Will Mayweather-Pacquiao ever happen?
I don't know. There's so much trouble going on in Mayweather's life. I was really and truly, boxing needs it to happen.
Doesn't it?
It really does need it to happen. And I'll tell you what, my money's on Pacquiao. That's a controversy. Yeah, there you go.
No, I went to Vegas and watched Pacquiao destroy Cotto.
Yeah, what a
He
fight.
was amazing.
Oh my God, he's the guy I look up to. So humble, transcends the sport, does so much for the community. Great
We're
man.
booking guests for our return virtually every day. You're coming back in August to talk to us again.
Love to come back.
Good lad.
The
you
book's
will.
out now. Barry McGuigan, MBE or OBE?
MBE, yeah.
Ah, but
MBE.
I ask with a purpose.
Why?
There's an interesting story in there
Yeah.
about the OBE.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Do you want me to tell you?
No,
I haven't
no,
got time.
get the book.
I've
You've
got
told
time.
us everything.
All
otherwise.
right, good.
It's entitled Cyclone, My Story by Barry McGuigan, out now and proving today, I think, as popular as ever.
Thanks for having me.
More
I really
so. No.
appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you very much for
Been
coming.
our pleasure, mate.
Barry
Thank you.
McGuigan, 11:45. What a moment or two in the company of Barry McGuigan. What a fabulous fella he remains, Andy.
Well, listen,
He's one of those rarities that you meet. You want to be as good as you expect him to be. You want him to just be a nice guy. And he's that, isn't he?
He's every bit of that. I mean, we've both known Barry for more years than we care to remember. And
I did an interview with him. I just mentioned it to him. When I was at TVAM as a young reporter. Holiday in Swiss Cottage, Barry and Mr. Eastwood. I think he remembers that. He said he did.
he said he did.
Not a liar as well, is
No,
he?
he told me he didn't. He says, I just told Keezy I did because it made him feel good. But he actually told me he didn't. No, he is a fantastic guy. One of the things that I find amazing about him, and that's why part of the reason he's probably written the book as well, is that he's a love of etymology, is it? The history of words.
Yes.
And when you hear Barry talk, you can understand why.
Yes.
He's got such a fantastic vocabulary.
Lovely guy.
And that I'm sure comes out in the book as well.